And we're back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our third segment here today. But before we do that, I would like to ask you again to please like and follow the show. We do get a number of questions from viewers to ensure that your question does get read in the air. Please hit the link, gsmcpodcast.net. It really does help the show, and it really does mean a lot. So thank you so much for that. And let's get back into the show for today. All right, so our third topic is going to be about Robbie Ray and the San Francisco Giants and him making his season debut. So let's get into it. So, Robbie Ray was traded in a pretty significant trade in the offseason from Seattle to San Francisco. In a pretty weird trade. Ray was, of course, a former Cy Young winner from the Blue Jays. Turned that season into a big contract with the Mariners. Had one season there that was okay. Nothing great, but nothing horrible as well. Then had Tommy John, and then got traded to San Francisco. So, it was really weird with what happened overall with Robbie Ray there. But he got traded to San Francisco after that, and it was just kind of a weird trade, but now he's coming back, and I think he's going to be an important piece of pitching depth for this Giants team, and overall be something that is very, very interesting to watch. So with this Giants team, I've talked about them a few times on the show that I like their team a lot, to be perfectly honest with you, but the thing is, I kind of think all these reinforcements are a little too late. Right now, the only NL teams worse than them currently are the Nationals, Rockies, and Marlins, and those are not teams you want to be in conversations with. I mean, they're 5 games out of the wild card. They're not going to win the NL West, obviously, considering the Dodgers are there, and they're pretty far out from the Padres and the Diamondbacks as well. They're 4 behind the Diamondbacks and 4.5 behind the Padres. So it's not exactly like they're continually in the conversation to win that NL West or make the playoffs. So I do think as much as Robbie Ray will help, as much as I like their pitching depth coming back in the second half, I think it's a little too late, and I do expect them to be sellers at the deadline. Now, I talked about before that I really like their team, and honestly, I would think about buying. Well, I think that's true. I think it's, there's situations that you have to evaluate as well. I mean, as much as I like their team, they are not in a position where I think they're going to make the playoffs. Again, I really think that there's only 5 teams actually. I'll put the Cardinals in there now because they've continued to do well and surprise me. 5 teams that really are in conversation for that wild card that I feel confident about. I mean, there's also other teams as well that are there that realistically can get in there. I mean, the Pirates are only a game behind, but so I really think the Pirates are going to continue to do this well. Not really, even with Skeens. So overall, I think that there's too many teams in the NL this year to be able to, go in front of. I mean, teams that are above them are the Cubs, Reds, Pirates, that's 3 already. Diamondbacks, Padres, Cardinals, that's 6. Mets and Braves, that's 8. So there's 8 teams above them. To get into the playoffs, they would have to go over 5 teams as well. Cubs, Reds, Pirates, Diamondbacks, and Padres. So it's not exactly like that's going to be, a piece of cake. So overall, I think that this Giants team, as much as there's a lot of talent here, as much as their players have started to do much better, I again think it's a little too late. And as much as Robbie Ray coming back is a valuable piece of pitching that I think will really help this team, I just don't think it's going to be enough. Also, Blake Snell has done much better recently, so that's going to be a really important addition to your staff as well. You also, of course, have Alex Cobb coming back eventually, so I think that'll really help. And then your rotation there already. I mean, you have Logan Webb, Kyle Harrison, Jordan Hicks, that's 3. Keaton Wynn is there, that's 4. You are going to have now Robbie Ray, 5. Alex Cobb, 6. Blake Snell. So you have a lot of good arms in this rotation. Hayden Birdsong is also someone that has done really well with this Giants team in a limited role, but I know a lot of Giants fans have really liked him as well. So there's a lot that is interesting about this Giants team, and this Robbie Ray season debut, I think that it is going to be something that really does help this team. But I mean, we're a week out of the deadline, and I don't think that there is a genuine way that the Giants are going to be able to get in this conversation enough where they can say to themselves, okay, it makes sense to buy now, it makes sense to try to compete in this NL. So yeah, I like this team a lot still. I think there's a lot of great offensive talents, which has really helped out, and that was really my main problem for them. I mean, Patrick Bailey's become a really good player. Lamont Wade has done really well as well. You also have Wilmer Flores doing better, Mike Conforto being really solid. Elliot Ramos was an all-star. Mike Yastrzemski is always going to have a lot of talent in that bat. So overall, as much as it is unfortunate about this Giants team, I think that they still have a nice foundation, and it'll be interesting to see who they trade and what they trade at the deadline. So Robbie Ray, though, I think will again provide a valuable asset to them in the future. I think next year, assuming Blake Snell doesn't leave, because I don't think this is the year he wants to go on the free agent market for, you'll have a lot of players in that rotation. You'll have, I'd say, 6 guys that are really good, and you can be able to trade from that, sign some guys as well if you want to swap in and out. So it's going to be very, very interesting to watch, and I think this Giants team overall will be interesting. And look, as much as I've said that they will probably sell at the deadline, they should sell at the deadline, and as much as it's a little too late, their second half has the chance to be really good. I mean, you're getting Snell back, who has done much better as of recently. You're getting Robbie Ray back, who I think overall is going to just be a very solid guy. Alex Cobb is one of my favorite pitchers of baseball. I really like watching him, and I really think that there's a lot of potential in that arm as well. So overall, there is still a lot to like about this Giants team, and I think the second half will be better. But still, I think, again, it's a little too late, and I just don't think that they're going to be able to be competitive with these other teams in the NL, and it is unfortunate how that's happened, but still, it's just kind of how it is. So, yeah, I think that, again, this Giants team, a lot of talent, a lot coming back, which really does help, but a little too late, and that is really the unfortunate reason why I don't think that they're going to be competitive mainly. And I think that, maybe if Robbie Ray has one good start, they want to trade him. I mean, that would kind of be funny. I don't think that would happen, but, crazier things have happened, right? So, yeah, that is it for the Giants, and that is it for about Robbie Ray and just this team. It was a little bit of an all-over-the-place segment, but I did want to just get my thoughts on about the Giants and the trade deadline heading into it, and how Robbie Ray coming back now will help them and make sure they do much better. So, yeah, that is my third segment here, talking about that. Moving into our fourth segment, which is going to be talking about the Mariners and all the offensive struggles they've had. Man, there's been a lot. So I wanted to go over that and give my general thoughts on it and their deadline as well. So yeah, going over that, and we'll see you after the break. So thanks, and bye.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC podcast